Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Jim Hughes. Terry Stiles out. She'll be back again next week. Clarkston student paying tribute to his friend on this edition. Also, Oxford Strong maintaining its integrity. That and more on this edition of Oxford News This Week. Welcome back. Several are trying to maintain the Oxford Strong community website that helps find support outlets formed in the wake of the November 30th shooting. Starting life as a Google Doc made in early December, site operators Chelsea Pfeiffer and Andrea Needstedt sought out information about companies and funds for helping out. Oxford Strong Community are filling out a form on the website itself, which asks the basic details and contact information with information in hand. The site staff do their best to make sure and verify the details by reaching out or visiting in person. The site is part of a larger network of people finding organizations providing help for the Oxford community. Lake Orion business owner Matt Pfeiffer has connected the site with several local businesses and volunteers to help with the site alongside Chelsea Needstedt. Pfeiffer also Ellie Sherwin and Mandy Sherwin. Again, they're trying to maintain and make sure everything is going well with the Oxford Strong website. Feel free, you can contact either the Oxford Bank or Genesis Credit Union to also make donations there as well. The Addison Township Board approved numerous routine items in their 2022-2023 budget. At the last meeting that actually took place on December 20th, Pat Mueller was appointed as an Oxford Addison Youth Assistant Board member. Jennifer Lundy and Eric Sinnett were also reappointed to the Planning Commission for a 3-year term. Joel King replaced Joel Schnur as a partial term expiring on September 30th, 2022. Rob Blazek was reappointed to the Park Committee for the 3-year term. Art Burney was reappointed to the Park Ranger for that same term. The board approved a resolution renewing the North Oakland Household Hazardous Waste Consortium. The interlocal agreement for 2022, the township will charge residents $10 to participate in the No-Haz event in this year. Trustee Jacob Newby will continue and serve as the official representative for the No-Haz Advisory Board. The board adopted Oakland County Sheriff's Office 2022-2024 Law Enforcement Services Agreement with the township. Also, the board approved a fire department purchase of 12 single-band portable radios from Motorola for a price of well over $83,000, which includes prep and support on the equipment. The new radios are required by Oakland County as part of the P25 statewide system change. Again, that was approved. This will also ensure neighboring agencies are able to communicate with each other on the same system during emergencies, Fire Chief Jerry Morowski said at that meeting. Madison Baldwin attended Clarkston Community School prior to coming to Oxford in the 2020-2021 year. Transferring to Oxford High School through her senior year, tragically, which was ended with one of the 4 victims of the November 30th shooting, her friend Aiden Hepler wanted to make sure his friend would never be forgotten. Madison was a good friend, and Hepler, a senior at Clarkston High School. In the aftermath of the shooting, Hepler took the initiative to create a project that would memorialize his friend, Baldwin, for years to come. He came up with the idea of a mural that will be painted at the Clarkston High School. Several other Clarkston High School seniors said they are heartbroken as well for the passing of Baldwin. They vowed that her memory will live on forever. Hepler also noted that it's important to remember just what kind of person Madison Baldwin was. We believe that we need to give back to Madison in remembrance of her mural, and at least that's the least they can do. Again, Clarkston helping out with trying to heal Oxford as well. After a safe reopening of the DK8 school, which was closed again on Tuesday, December 14th, following a specific threat directed by the Oxford Middle School from the image on a social media post, all schools in the district remain closed for the rest of the week before the winter break. All school district buildings were searched and cleared by Oakland County Sheriff's Office with the help from more than 25 canine dogs and handlers that were brought in to assess the situation at Oxford Community Schools. Class will resume again Wednesday with the overwhelming amount of staff and families said they did not feel ready to return. According to Superintendent Tim Throne, district schools has been closed again since December 1st to December 11th, following the November 30th shooting at Oxford High School. Although the buildings were cleared, the threat is still under investigation by the Sheriff's Office with no additional information available. Threats will be investigated by law. This is coming from the school board. Enforcement will result in discipline of up to expulsion from schools. In addition, students who engage in threatening behavior are found and with violent images or words or online activity on or off school grounds will be required to undergo a rigorous threat assessment with law enforcement personnel and mental health professionals. In a December 17th district message, Throne described the continued mental health support available. The break for all Oxford residents, students, families. Sessions will take place at the Legacy Center at 925 North Lapeer Road. Folks can also access areas of support by contacting 1-800-231-1127 for more information, or 1-844-446-4225. Throne also encouraged parents to talk to their children about how serious the consequences of making threats reportedly anonymously to the state of Michigan. There's also a website that's been set up, OK to Say tip line at 8555 OK to Say SAY. OK to Say at michigan.gov. I'm sure that'll be right below my picture here. Reminder, letters of support for proposed Oxford Farmers Market due on Monday, January 10th. If you're in favor of establishing a new farmers market on the Seymour Lake Township Park area, make sure to write a letter of support to the Oxford Township Communications Grant Manager, C.J. Carnacchio. Please email your letters to ccarnacchio@oxfordtownship.org. Oxford Township Parks and Rec applying for a grant to help fund the construction of the 40-foot by 100-foot open-air pavilion at the Seymour Lake Park. This pavilion would provide permanent and a dedicated space for the farmers market. The market would be open on Saturdays and run from spring to fall. With that, Dave Kenny with Auto Talk and Science in the News, and I will be back with a story and a close on this edition of Oxford News This Week. We'll be right back. Stay there. Don't go away.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. The Chevrolet Silverado EV will have more than 400 miles of driving range and Super Cruise driver assist technology and be able to tow up to 10,000 pounds. General Motors said the truck can gain 100 miles of range in 10 minutes through a DC fast charger. The electric full-size pickup will be available in two versions initially, a work truck designed for fleet buyers and a fully loaded RST trim for retail customers that cost almost as much as the new GMC Hummer EV. The work truck, which starts at $41,595, including shipping, will go on sale in the spring of 2023, followed by the $106,695 RST that Paul GM said. Reservations for the RST can be placed on Chevrolet.com. After production begins next year, Chevrolet plans to reveal a full portfolio with trims ranging from $50,000 to $80,000. GM revealed the 2024 Silverado EV during CEO Mary Barra's virtual CES keynote on January 5th. The launch will be crucial for GM as the automaker takes on early arriving electric pickups from Rivian, Ford Motor Company, and others. GM has said that it plans to lead the industry in the electrification With 30 EV launches expected globally and a $35 billion investment in electric and autonomous technology through 2025. The automaker aims to electrify its entire light vehicle lineup a decade after that. The Silverado EV will be powered by GM's proprietary Ultium batteries developed with LG Energy Solution. The Ultium platform gives engineers and designers freedom to develop the electric pickup from the ground up, rather than following the framework of the gasoline-powered Silverado. By launching the Silverado EV with the fully loaded six-figure trim, GM aims to lower the barrier to adoption of electric pickups from the get-go, Steve Carlisle, president of GM North America, told Automotive News. GM is using a similar strategy with the Hummer EV, starting last month with the $112,595 Edition 1, before introducing lower trims from this fall through 2024. EV skeptics may doubt they can find a pickup that does everything they need it to do, Carlisle said, but the Silverado RST shows you're not giving up anything when you get into an electric pickup. You're gaining so much. That was the idea, he said. Like the Hummer, the Silverado EV will be built at Factory Zero, GM's electric truck plant in Detroit. The Ultium platform eliminated restrictions that designers often face with gasoline-powered vehicles, said Phil Zak, executive director of Chevrolet Design. We had no constraints when it came to designing the Silverado EV with dramatic style and flexible utility because we didn't need to work around a traditional propulsion system, he said in GM's statement. The Ultium platform allowed us to redefine what it means to offer expansive new storage and utility possibilities. The front end was sculptured to reduce drag and turbulence by directing air down the side of the body. GM estimates that the work truck has one of the lowest drag efficiencies of any production full-size pickup, helping to enable its estimated 400-mile range. Both versions of the pickup arriving first will be offered exclusively as crew cab models. On the RST, storage capacity in the bed can be extended to more than 9 feet between the cab and the tailgate with Chevrolet's Multi-Flex midgate. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back.
Do you love local sports? Whether it's Oxford High School or Parks and Rec, you can buy copies of each game. To purchase your copy, call us at 248-628-9658 or give us an email at manager@occtv.org or talk to us at the next game. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Back with you on Oxford News this week. Not really a lot of sports back in with the school being closed. That will resume shortly, and we'll be there covering it. But the NFL announced that Oxford High School shooting victim Tate Myre in the week of 14 will be the recipient of the 2021 NFL Way to Play High School Award. Myre was one of the 4 students, again, who died on the 30th of November with the shooting. Oxford, Michigan, back on November 30th, the announcement was made on the NFL Network's Good Morning Football show on behalf of the Tate Myre being named the recipient of the award. Oxford football program will receive $5,000 equipment grants from the USA Football and new uniforms courtesy of Nike. Myre was again junior at Oxford football team and had been on the varsity roster since the freshman year. He was also an honors student as well. Once again, the NFL recognizing Oxford, trying to help heal the community. Coach Mel Tucker wrote down a player's name and gave it to the Spartans recruiting director, Sahid Kahif. The player's name would soon be known to the entire country, but for the reason that no one could have imagined. Tucker had seen Tate Myre, who last month was one of the 4 victims of the mass shooting at Oxford High School, along with Madison Baldwin, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling, as Michigan State introduced its 2022 signing class on the Wednesday morning. It started with Myre as an honorary member of the class. Myre, a junior, again running back and linebacker for the Wildcats football team, recently had gone on a recruiting trip prior to the shooting, obviously, to Toledo. Recruiting interest increased. Myre has a member of the Spartans recruiting class. It's the latest way that Michigan State Athletic Department has reached out to help, again, the Oxford community. Also, I mentioned again, we had mentioned this prior, that other members of the Michigan football team still wear a jersey with a patch 42 and 4 hearts. They took that on to their championship contention, just another way of paying tribute. A lot of honors going out to the 4 victims and the other members that were shot that day on November 30th. I'll be back with more as we close out this edition of Oxford News This Week. Stay there, don't go away.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. The software that allows smartphones to locate themselves is generally accurate to only within a few meters, but UK startup Nort claims its software can locate a device to within 20 centimeters. It is possible to improve the accuracy of satellite navigation software so it pinpoints a location on Earth to within tens of centimeters without the need for new hardware, says a UK-based startup. Software that handles signals from global navigational satellite systems, or GNSSs, such as the US government's GPS or the EU's Galileo, is ubiquitous in smartphones and other devices. But it only determines location to within a few meters. We have created the world's first platform that is able to improve on this without the need for extra hardware, says Jack Maddalena, CEO of UK startup Nort. Surveyors and other professionals have long used augmented GNSS services that can offer a location precision of millimeters, but this extra accuracy is achieved by tapping into additional transmitters. Assessing these augmented services is expensive and requires special equipment, and it can take minutes to calculate such a precise location. Nort's approach instead involves using software to minimize errors in the known orbital position of standard GNSS satellites at any moment in time. Although these orbital positions are known reasonably accurately, other factors come into play. The radio signals from the satellites can be slowed slightly when they interact with a region of the upper atmosphere known as the ionosphere. There are also small discrepancies in the satellite orbit and tiny inconsistencies in the timekeeping clocks on the satellites. Nort uses specific, precisely known locations on Earth as a calibration tool. It then compares these with the GNSS readings for those locations. An algorithm then deduces the error in each satellite's signals. It can then use this information to calculate more accurately any given location on Earth from the satellite information, correcting both systemic and random errors. What's more, although Nort gets the data to perform the calculations via the internet, it doesn't require a continuous internet connection to establish a precise location. We have offline and online solutions, says Maddalena. He says Nort's standard software boosts accuracy by between 40 and 90%, but that better results are possible. One of Nort's first markets is online car rentals, where its Nort Drift software will guide customers to the exact location of a parked vehicle. On average, GNSS drifts by 30 meters, and we can correct this to within 20 centimeters on average, says Maddalena. In another case, that is to say, in one case, the original GNSS location was out by 78 meters. Previous software solutions, such as the French GeoFlex, claim similar improvements, but GeoFlex only works with certain Android phones. Nort works with any receiver, and the general techniques is well established. There are many variations on such algorithms with various service providers, but the approach can achieve real-time positional accuracy of around 10 centimeters, says navigation expert Michael Jones of Rourke Manor Research, a UK communications company, suggesting Nort's claims are plausible. However, he notes that experimental data is needed to validate specific claims. precise location can ensure that vehicles observe parking restrictions and speed limits and help keep self-driving vehicles in the correct lane. NORT has carried out pilot schemes in the food delivery and vehicle rental sectors and is rolling out the technology to commercial customers. Well, that's it for Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
That's going to wrap it up for another edition of Oxford News this week. Again, I'm Jim Hughes. Terry Stiles will be back next week. Again, thanking Dave Kenny with Auto Talk and Science in the News. Also, Dan Zweiss, our producer-director in the back, once again, for putting it all together. We appreciate that as well. Again, you can catch us 24/7 on Channel 191 Charter Spectrum, Channel 191, 99 AT&T, UVerse, and the OCTV station is also located out here on Seymour Lake at the park. I know we have a YouTube channel. We have multiple ways to get a hold of us or that you can watch our programming. Feel free to log on. I understand, again, the YouTube probably one of the better ways to catch anything that we've done prior. I'm Jim Hughes for Oxford News This Week. Go out and make it a great week. Take care of yourselves, everyone. We'll see you next week on this edition of Oxford News This Week.